name is Shakayla Diamond. Today I'm back with Breaking Fashion News episode 3. I'm sorry that the video didn't come out last week as well, but I was at New York Fashion Week, so I didn't have the time to sit down and record. So that's why the video is late. But nonetheless, we are back, and like I said, I will be posting breaking fashion news videos every week with the news that has happened in that week, unless I'm unable to get it up due to I didn't have the time to record or there's just nothing that has went on. But if I can't post it, I will let you guys know. Not too much, although it's been about a week and a half or 2 weeks since the last time I posted a breaking fashion news video. There hasn't been much going on. You didn't miss much. It hasn't been like a lot of things happening, but the things that did happen have been, you know, pretty big. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So the first thing is that Gucci released a black turtleneck that came up to about right here, and it had really big red lips and then an opening for the person who will wear it, their mouth. The turtleneck resembled blackface, as you all should know. Blackface is back when white people used to paint their face black and put really big red lips on their face to resemble black people, hence the name blackface. It is racist, it is a racial slur, it is a racial action, and it's something that should not be taken lightly. So once the turtleneck was released, it got on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, and from there it went up. And when I tell you people were upset, I can't say that I was surprised, because there are a lot of high fashion brands that do very racist things, and Gucci is not the first. They probably will not be the last. And also Prada just had an incident as well about probably a month and a half or 2 months ago, where they actually released like actual blackface caricatures that can be put on purses as bag accessories. So I just feel like now it's kind of being done intentionally, because if you see that a brand of your caliber has just done something very similar, you shouldn't continue to want to release this product that could be taken offensive, even if you didn't mean it that way. If you feel like the slightest bit it could be taken offensive, especially something so big as blackface or racial slurs or anything racist at all. If you see another company just did something similar, you take it off. Even if it's in production, even if it'll cost you X amount of dollars, you stop it as soon as you see it, because you taking that product off will save you from a lot of backlash on social media, boycotts and things like that. And as we all know, social media is a hell of a place, and there has been businesses taken down quicker than they can take off, and there has been big businesses that have been forgotten about because they have done something stupid. So if you saw that your company another company just did something very similar, you should take it off immediately. But once this turtleneck was put out and it was seen by everybody and put across the social media worlds, many celebrities and people in the black community were boycotting Gucci. They vowed to not purchase from the brand again. They vowed to not wear the brand again. Celebrities like T.I., Spike Lee, among other people, posted and said that they would not be Waka Flocka said something too. They said that they would not be supporting Gucci any longer, that they're racist and many other things. Spike Lee wanted to start a movement to not support Gucci for the next 3 months until they hire black designers to be on their team, so that things like this will not happen. There was just a lot going on. And then also Dapper Dan, if you don't know, Dapper Dan is an amazing black fashion designer. He's been doing this for a very long time. He was blackballed from the industry for about 30 years because he would make very amazing pieces that included like logos from brands like Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and he would kind of like distort it and make it into his own, and it became very popular within the hip-hop industries. And he would dress many of the rappers like Diddy and LL Cool J and Mary J. Blige and Lil Kim and things like that, and stylists like Mr. Hilton and June Ambrose would get pieces from him to dress their clients. And he was blackballed because he began to get very popular. And in about 2017, I believe, Gucci actually took one of his designs from, I think it was like the 70s or the 80s or even the 90s. I think it might have been the 80s or the 90s actually, and they put it on their runway, the exact same. It was a jacket, a puffer jacket, a Gucci puffer jacket, and they took the exact same design and they put it on their runway as if it was their own. Although it is their logo, that is not their design, and that does not mean that they are entitled to that. But they took it, they put it on the runway, and Black Twitter came for them. Like I said, social media is a hell of a place, and you don't want to go down in flames on social media. But social media held them accountable. They said, no, this is Dapper Dan's designs. But before this point, many people didn't know who Dapper Dan was unless you were just interested in that period of time in fashion, or interested in him in general, or the fashion industry and black fashion in general, because he was blackballed. So people didn't know. A lot of people, or the masses, I should say, didn't know who he was. But the people that did, they said, no, this is not your design. This was created by Dapper Dan. They started to bring out the actual original jacket, and Gucci was called out. Many brands take away from smaller or less established designers. Most of the time it's black designers that they take designs from, and they don't get caught because those smaller brands, they aren't able to reach the customers that that bigger brand reaches. So those customers, one, either don't care or don't know that that is not their original design. So anyway, following them being called out for putting that jacket up and making it as if it was their own design, they decided to do a collection and a collaboration with Dapper Dan, opening back up his store in Harlem and creating a collection which has been seen on people like Diddy, Jay-Z, and many people in the black people in the entertainment industry. It was an amazing collection. They brought it out. So once this turtleneck was released, Dapper Dan took to his social media to say that he will be having a meeting with the CEO of Gucci, and that the CEO of Gucci is flying in from Italy to Harlem to have a conversation with him and people within the community, which is the black community and the black people in the fashion industry, to have a conversation about why this should not have happened and why it should never happen again. Because I feel like we can't just cancel brands and not hold them accountable. We can't just say we're canceling them, we're boycotting them, let's leave them alone, let's start our own, because that's called isolation. There's a lot of opportunities and resources and knowledge that we can't get on our own, and sometimes you have to go through bigger brands in order to receive that information. I'm not saying give up your integrity or anything like that for money, because I'm a strong person that believes that I will never do anything for any amount of money if it goes past what I believe in and what I value. Like, no money is worth that. No money is worth your integrity. But I do feel like if you have the opportunity to get information from a bigger brand or get at the tables with people from bigger brands, you can learn the information that you need to know, take note, and then take it back to build your community or build your business or build your platform big, or just as big or bigger than theirs. But there are a lot of resources and opportunities that are just not available to us, and they probably won't ever be easily available to us. But if we have the opportunity to go get that information, we cannot allow for smaller things to get in front of that. We need to take hold of these opportunities and pretty much work the system. If you get the chance to work the system, do just that. You go, you learn what you need to know, you take note, you say, okay, yep, thank you, and then you leave and you go do what you got to do to make your brand bigger than it is, and to establish your brand, and to leave from being just a small brand or a local brand to being an established and well-respected brand. But he took to say that he was having this meeting, Deborah Dan was having this meeting with the CEO of Gucci, and from that meeting there will be some diversity and inclusion initiatives, some diversity and inclusion jobs opening, some designers that positions that can be taken for diversity and inclusion. There's a scholarship, and all things like that. And I'm not saying that when a brand does something as serious as blackface or anything racist that you go to work for that company, or that you go to beg that company or anything like that. But like I just said, there's a lot of resources that are not readily available to us, especially if you're trying to get to a certain level. So if an opportunity presents itself for you to tell them and you to let them know that this is not okay and don't you ever let it happen again, and then you make them learn from their mistakes, and then you learn what you need to know to take back to your community, that is completely fine. I feel like a lot of the time that we say, let's cancel this brand, let's boycott this brand, let's start our own, but people don't realize that there's already been a lot of us that have started our own and didn't receive the support that we needed. For instance, on a larger scale, black owned streetwear brands like FUBU, Baby Fat, Sean John, Rockaware, Fat Farm, those brands, they came and they went because they didn't get the support from the black community. Once it was something bigger or better that came around, we left them high and dry to go to that bigger and better thing. We can't say let's boycott them and let's start our own, but people weren't there to offer the resources needed to grow our own. It's okay to start something. It's cool to start something, and that's okay. That's a great accomplishment to start something, but the goal is to sustain it and to grow it. The accomplishment is starting it, but the goal is to sustain it and grow it. You can't stay small forever. And if you stay small, you're playing small, and that's, if I'm going to be honest, a dumb decision. The goal and the objective of starting a business should always be to grow it bigger than what you started it as. So we can't keep saying, we can't keep saying boycott, let's start our own, but you yelling let's start our own, but you're not giving the support, you're not following it up with action to help these people who have already started their own. There's a lot of black people that make it to certain heights in their career, but they never pass, and they make it out the ghetto, they make it out the hood, they make it out of their bad situation, but they never pass information back to the people in their community. They never pass anything back to their community to help grow their community, so that community can come up, and that community, the younger kids in their community, can have better opportunities. And that's not how you grow. You can't say, oh, I made it, forget them. It's power in numbers. We can't keep saying start our own, but not showing the support to the people who are doing just that, starting their own. It doesn't hurt you to share resources or information that you found out, because before you found out, you didn't know either. So it does not hurt you to pass that back, and you helping bringing somebody else up by sharing that information and shit, because knowledge is wealth. And by sharing that wealth with other people, you're creating more wealth that equals money. And also, if you are in a position to where you're in a setting and they're looking for somebody to fulfill a specific job, and you know someone who can do that, or you can take that into mind and say, okay, let me go search through the people that I know, spread the word out, and see who I can find. You're spreading that opportunity back into your community, and you're creating a seat at the table. Honestly, you're open from that opportunity. You're probably opening more doors for them that would have never been open to them, just because they didn't have that opportunity. They didn't have that stature to even be able to attain those types of opportunities. So it does not hurt people to lend a hand back, but there are not people who are actually lending those hands back. So I think that while we're boycotting and while we're saying let's help our own, let's not be hypocrites, because we could have been supporting our own long time ago. We could have been helping the people that did already start their own long time ago. Don't let for something like this to keep happening for us to say let's support our own. Because every time a big brand does something crazy, that's when the Black community wants to say let's start our own, let's do this, blah blah blah, but you weren't supporting initially. Like, let's say for instance, all of these celebrities who are saying we're leaving Gucci, let's start our own, there are a lot of high fashion luxury Black owned brands that are of quality that you could have been supporting before this point. You could have been wearing those brands. They have the same quality. They probably cost a little bit less or the same amount. Either way, it doesn't matter, but it was of quality, but you chose to look over it because you chose the Gucci piece because it said Gucci. You chose the Fendi piece because it said Fendi. You chose the Prada piece because it said Prada. But those brands, they don't really care about you because everybody is seen as a dollar sign to them. It doesn't matter who's wearing it. They don't care. They don't care. So don't try to say let's start now that something has happened, because you could have been started. Just like all of these celebrities and rappers and people in the entertainment industry that spend hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars on jewelry, and I'm pretty sure half their jewelers are not Black, but there are Black jewelers who could have provided them the same quality pieces, but they weren't looking for them. They were looking for who was the most popular jeweler. And then again, creative teams. So like your PR, your managers, your wardrobe stylists. It's a lot of people in the entertainment industry who don't have a Black creative team. And that you don't want to, you know, put a dream into a Black person who can do this for you because you feel like this white person can get you further. That's not true. Because there are people who are credible, who do a great job at what their career is and can get you very far, but you choose not to believe in them or not even to look their way because you feel like this person could get you further in the industry just because they are white. That is not true at all, and that happens a lot when it comes to wardrobe styling as well. But I appreciate wardrobe stylists like Jason Rimbert and Colin Carter because they are opening these doors for Black fashion designers. Once you get into these positions, you have the opportunity to open doors for other people, like your wardrobe stylists. Those are the people that you can be trying to get your designs through, or you could be reaching back to these Black designers to put their clothes on these people, and those are open so many doors for them. So it doesn't, as I was saying, like as far as like these people, these celebrities and rappers, as I was saying, like before now you weren't supporting the luxurious Black owned fashion brands that are of quality, that are, you know, in the same caliber of a Gucci. They just don't have the same clout, but they're in the same caliber. You weren't supporting them. You weren't dressed in them. You were buying Gucci because it said Gucci. You were buying Louis Vuitton because it said Louis Vuitton. You were buying Fendi because it said Fendi. But there are a lot of Black owned brands that you could have been supporting before right now. Like I was saying, the hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars that rappers and celebrities spent in jewelry, half their jewelers for the most part are not Black, but there are Black credible jewelers that they could have gotten jewelry from. Creative teams, PR, managers, stylists, a lot of these Black rappers and celebrities don't have Black PR. They don't have Black wardrobe stylists. They don't have a Black management team, but there are people who are credible and who are able to get the job done just as well. But it's sad to say, but a lot of people, for example, wardrobe stylists, a lot of celebrities feel like they can get further if they have a white wardrobe stylist, or it might open more doors for them. No, that ain't true. Don't let your label fool you. Please don't let your label fool you. And a lot of people only hire like Black creative teams when it starts to become the wave, but you should be doing that already. We can't keep calling out people and then not following up. I'm not saying nothing that Gucci did was right, because it's not. If you're going to let me just say this: if you're gonna buy Gucci after today, make sure that you're supporting the Dapper Dan collection, because a lot of people didn't know who Dapper Dan was before all this went down. A lot of people didn't even buy anything from the Dapper Dan collection, Gucci collection, while they were still buying Gucci. Like, come on. Let's you know, let's just make sure that if we gonna be real, we gonna be real, and if we gonna keep it real, we gonna keep it real. Don't keep saying let's boycott them and why we ain't starting our own, let's start our own. But the people who have started their own before you saying let's start our own, you didn't support them. So yes. Anyway, overall, what came out of the meeting with Gucci and Dapper Dan and all of the other fabulous people that were in that meeting is that there are going to be some diversity and inclusion initiatives being started, such as scholarships and positions within the Gucci. Don't let it take for a brand to disrespect us for you to want to put some respect on a black fashion brand or black brand's name. So I'm not saying that anything Gucci did was right, because it's absolutely obnoxious, but I'm not surprised. But we cannot isolate ourselves from these bigger companies because they have the knowledges and resources that we need. A lot of the brands that are big and popping right now, they are operated by a larger distributor that has the resources that they needed, such as a lot of these black owned record labels. They are not only, or even smaller record labels, they are not working solely by themselves. They have another distributor, bigger group over them, such as you know, City Girls being with QC. They're also, I believe, with Capitol Records, because you need that larger company to manage that smaller record label or that smaller management company, which would be your quality control. Such as Cash Money Records, they have a larger distributing company because they need those bigger resources. So you have in business, you have to work smart, and a lot of the time working smart makes you put yourself at these tables with these other people so that you can learn the knowledge that you need to know, take note on what's going on, and take that back to your community and take that back to your business to grow it to what you want it to be. And I'm not saying that we should, you know, be forgiving brands left and right, but no, just be smart on what you're choosing to do and what you're choosing to say, because you can't just cancel something or cancel a brand because it's the wave right now. You have to make sure that you have to think for yourself. Pretty much you have to know for your business what smart decisions will you need to make. And I think that, you know, these initiatives that Gucci is coming out with, thanks to Dapper Dan and the other people that were in that room, it will be some amazing opportunities for the people that are going to be put in those positions, and they can take what they've learned and then move on when the time comes. The thing is to never get stuck or never sell your soul to a brand. That's never the goal. The goal is to go there, learn what you need to know, and move on and do what you need to do after that, you know, that information. But we need to show support to us before it gets to this point of having to cancel somebody else and want to replace them with one of us. We should always be first. And there are so many black owned brands out here that you can show support to, that it doesn't have to take until something like this happens for you to say, okay, we're not buying anything from them anymore. And just so that you guys know, Gucci is not the first, they will not be the last, they are not the only. It's millions of brands that steal from black designers every day. They just might not do something as big as blackface that'll get them put all over social media, but they're stealing from black designers. For example, Fashion Nova steals from black designers, and y'all love y'all some Fashion Nova, y'all love y'all some coupon codes from Fashion Nova, but you don't even support the black owned brands that they get the designs from originally. Sorry. And then also with Virgil at Louis Vuitton and at Off-White too, he's stolen a lot of designs from smaller brands as well. And those brands, they don't get their they don't get the recognition that they deserve. People probably don't even know on a larger scale that those are stolen designs, because that smaller brand just does not have that recognition yet. And you just have to show support to the smaller brands, or even the brands that are just credible. Just show support where you need to show support. Do not put your integrity over any amount of money. But next is Cardi B wore Archive Mugler to the Grammys. She wore Archive Mugler on the red carpet for her performance and when she accepted her award. I believe it was for Best Rap Album of the Year. Her stylist Colin Carter has worked very hard on this. They said that they've been looking for these gowns and working with Mugler since Paris Fashion Week last year. So it's been a long time. And for what she wore on the red carpet, it was 1995 Archive Mugler, and in her performance, it was 1995 Archive. She accepted her her award. It was 1997 Archive Mugler. What she wore on the red carpet, it was an amazing black gown with like pink lining and then like a sheer nude corset with like a pearl headpiece. I'll try to insert some pictures. She also, in her performance, she wore like a Mugler 1995 leopard print bodysuit that had like feathers coming up. And then when she accepted her award, she wore a very amazingly structured Mugler gown from 1997 with white fringe hanging off of it. But like I said, I'll try to put in some pictures or like videos so that you guys can see. Also, I just want to congratulate Cardi on her award. She's come a very, very long way. I'm very, very proud of her. She's come a long way, and she's been able to keep going no matter what people said. No matter if people said that she had 15 minutes of fame, then it'll be up. Like she said, her 15 minutes lasted long as hell, and it's still going. So congratulations to her, and I'm very, very happy for her, and I'm much so rooting for her, and we all are. Next is John Galliano and Nick Knight are going to get together to create the Mason Margiela film. It's going to be a short film, and it's going to star Dougie Thought. So I think that's going to be pretty amazing. I'm not sure when it will be released, but I'm pretty sure it will be very interesting. I'll be someone who will watch it because, as y'all probably know by now, I love fashion documentaries and like short films. I just find it so interesting like hearing about how a brand started and what it's gone through to get to this point, and the different, you know, CEOs or creative directors or whatever that have gone through that brand, and you know how the brand has changed throughout time, and if it's clearly being able to sustain all of these years. So next is Philip Lim is one of the latest fashion brands to ban fur from their collections. I don't think I've talked about this on my channel, but I think I have on my Instagram. A lot of brands are banning fur and animal skins from their collections, like Chanel and Michael Kors are two, and Stella McCartney are two, well, I'm sorry, 3 brands that have already canceled fur and animal animal skins and things like that. Also, back in September 2018, London Fashion Week announced that all of the brands that would be participating and would be showing during London Fashion Week had to also be a part of banning fur. My take on banning fur: I personally love fur. I own real fur, I own faux fur, and my dream bag, one of my dream bags, is a alligator skin red Birkin, Hermes Birkin. But I get what where people are coming from. I get, you know, that there are such bad things that happen in the process of making some of these items, but I am a girl who loves fur and I love skins. I'm sorry, don't come for me. I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel. Yeah. And then with the furs, like the real furs, I'm from Detroit, baby, so you gonna see everybody walking around with a mink, so it's really just in my blood and I can't help it. And in either way, like all of the furs, they come from fur couriers, so it's like I'm affected, but not really. But once Hermes decides not to make a crocodile Birkin anymore, I will drop real tears. I will. But next is Zara releases its new logo. The only thing that changed is that the letters are taller and they overlap. It's pretty similar to the Harper's Bazaar logo. Lately, a lot of, oh yeah, and also the same advertising agency created both Harper's Bazaar and Zara's logo. Their name is Baron & Baron Advertising Agency. A lot of brands are actually changing their logo right now, whether it's becoming like, you know, that tall and skinny font, which is, I guess they're trying to go for the more simplistic look, but I mean, the Zara logo is not bad. I think it's okay, but I also liked their logo previously. So we'll see how it goes. A lot of people are having some different comments and thoughts about it, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Change is good sometimes, but not all change is good. And then also within the fashion industry, there's been a lot of change that has not been good, so we'll see. Next is Kith streetwear brand is doing a collaboration with Versace. I've looked at it. I'll probably insert some pictures as well. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It's not really like, well, I guess the streetwear part about it is like the Versace jogging suits that they come out with, but it's very like just Versace with like Kith on it. That's pretty much what it looks like. Next is Jacquemus does a new campaign for like spring summer, and instead of like your regular models with the newest designs on, it's actually a painting by Chloe Wise. I think it's always great when art and fashion collaborate, because I'm a firm believer that fashion is art, because it is. And yeah, I think that, you know, it's always great to do new things to kind of like give your brand a little spice, especially if you've been around for a while. You want to keep it new, you want to keep it fresh, but you still want to keep it specific to what your brand's foundation and values are. I think that it looks really nice, and I think that it does go with the brand aesthetic. So I think it was a great idea. Next and last but not least, for New York Fashion Week, Lil' Kim was in the Blondes Fall Winter 19 show. Like I said, during New York Fashion Week, she closed it out and she did a little performance. It was great. The Blondes always has like some celebrity in their shows. Their shows are always amazing. Like they had Tiana Taylor in their show last year. It's just always amazing. They had Lil' Kim close it out, but they also had Karrueche in it. They had the Claremont twins in it. Paris Hilton was in the show. They had some of the stars from Pose, the FX show Pose. It was just an amazing show, and everybody was so surprised and excited to see Kim in the show. And she did a great little performance. She came, she saw, she conquered, and that was it. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. This is some news from the past week and a half. I know that I didn't post last week, but like I said, I was busy and I was at Fashion Week, so I didn't really have the time to record and post. But this breaking fashion news will come out every week. If there is something that happens and I'm not able to get it up that week, I do apologize, but things do happen. But thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please turn on your post notifications so that you never miss when I upload a video, and subscribe if you like my content and if you like what you see. But thank you for watching, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.